This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News. Good afternoon, fam. This is Black Views. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the election. And once again, I just want to give my input, as usual, to my listeners. There are obviously there's some listeners who aren't members. They don't like the things that I have to say, and I'm sorry. I'm not a Russian bot. I am a U.S. citizen. I'm an African American, and these thoughts come from my heart. These thoughts come from the years I have been alive to witness life as a black man in America. So they're not being persuaded by a Russian bot or anyone, I don't know, socialist or communist or nothing like that. No, this comes from black people who live in America. These are black views. There are some black people who choose not to pay attention. They like how they live. These are individuals. So the ones that get pissed off and unsubscribe and they think that's hog shit, bullshit, these are individualists. They don't see themselves as a member of a race. They see themselves as an individual. The only time these individuals will see themselves as a race is if it benefits them or at convenience. All right, so that's your, typical selfish black person out here. And it is what it is. And unfortunately, they don't like what I have to say because my message is for black people in America. The foundational black people. ADOS. However you want to speak it. You know who you are. We know who we are. And so now I begin with what's been going on in the news. Ask yourself, what exactly are Democrats providing you as a black person? What exactly have they laid out a plan or a foundation to assist your group? Some people will call it handouts, but it's actually not handouts because every group gets something, whether they be Asian, Hispanics, you have Indians here, you have Pakistanis here. I can go down the list of all the other groups who are here present in the United States at this time. Democrats speak of people of color. They won't say African American for some reason that offends people, or that actually means they have to cut a check for African Americans. There are African Americans that feel like that's a handout or something. Like, to hell with all the other black families that have suffered from the time of slavery, from the time of sharecropping, Red Line District, Jim Crow, all the way up. There are some families, there are some black people who have become successful, who have had opportunities and took advantage of those opportunities to become successful. And I get that. But there's been an unjust done to the African American, to the black, to the foundational American. I had a discussion with a coworker who basically, their roots come from Africa, and sometimes they don't seem to understand when we say we should get reparations and things like that. They actually feel like we're asking for something, like they're here to compete. But I didn't have to remind them what goes on in their native country, atrocities and so forth, and also make them understand that they left that country to come to this country for a better life. I'm not against that. I don't have a problem with that. But the issue that I take on with this is that Americans should come first. Black American, white American should come first. This country owes a great debt to African Americans, and it should be paid. I've calculated up to $16 trillion. And I think that is a low number, actually. There are bigger numbers, but that's a number that I calculated. And I feel like this money should be institutionalized into our communities. And when I say institutionalized, I'm not saying send it to the college or send it to a university or fully funded university. That's fine and dandy. But as you can see, HBCUs were fully funded, and still you can't go there for free. You must pay some type of admission. So once again, this is all BS. There's nothing I see from the Democrats. What I keep hearing is coronavirus, taxes, and healthcare. This plain and simple is all that the Democrats have to work off of. I mean, it's desperate. It really is desperate, because in each debate that they had, it was the same rhetoric. Donald Trump's taxes, the coronavirus, which I have a problem with, because the coronavirus is a disease that basically, listen, how can you politicize an illness that has come about on a people? How can you politicize that? What about that is politics? You continue to hear about he didn't move fast enough. He didn't have enough masks ready. He sent masks to China, and we didn't have enough masks here. Listen, like I said, I'm not voting for Trump, but the point is, when you listen to the argument, you have a right to neutrally listen to the argument, and as a voter, decide, if you decide to vote, who you will vote for. My feeling is that if you vote for someone, it should be someone that benefits you or benefits your group. I don't see that in the Democratic Party. What I see is everyone else getting something and we get nothing. You want proof? Look at Obama. What exactly did Obama do? Nothing. He did nothing for black people. He didn't even devise a credit plan or a savings and loans plan, some type of plan to rehabilitate black communities, get it thriving again. He didn't do any of that. He just sat back. He talked a good game, and what he did was hypnotize feminine black women and feminine men, black men. That's all he did. What he did was somehow eradicate the straight black male from the process. And so therefore, if you look into what the Democratic Party has to offer, basically nothing for black people as a whole. Black women either. They talk a good game and they'll say black women are the backbone, but they've done nothing for you. They have given you no free daycare. They haven't given you nothing. It's just all talk. And what that talk is to do is to separate our black women from our black men and make us some type of we're obsolete. We're not effective in this society, some way, somehow. I don't get it. The Democrats have also expressed that they will, day one, be taking care of the LGBTQ and all their issues, and providing them with whatever he say he can do. I didn't hear anything, but once again, they don't really talk about tangibles. Okay, they roundabout talk about things, and what they try to do is they try to get to your emotional side. Okay, what they do know is that people use emotions over facts, and so once again, it's election time, so we're going to talk about coronavirus. And particularly black people in particular, that's one of the reasons why they say, oh, black people have the highest rate. This is all a trick. It's all coming around now. Oh, black people are most affected by it. So that basically you will blame Trump for it. Once again, I don't have a dog in this race, because I've come to the conclusion that neither one of these one of these candidates have anything to offer me or my people. Even as an individual, I can't see anything in here that's going to work for me. I've bought up trickle down effect, and there's people out there that's going to tell you, yeah, it's going to work, but it hasn't worked in 50 years, black people. I'm not even like playing with you. I'm old enough to have seen these processes all the way back from Reagan, and there's been nothing, and there is nothing for us. Affirmative action, they took that away in most states. See, the trick is Federal governments will say, we'll leave it up to the states. Well, the states were the same people that said, let's keep slavery. If it had not been for the federal government, we'd still be in slavery if you left it up to the states. So in each situation, this is what happens. The federal government will talk about it and say something real nice about what they want to do, and then they leave it up to the states, and the states do nothing for you. It's a sham. It's all a game. I've got more spam email from political candidates, Democrats in particular, maybe because I registered Democrat in the past. Email box filled up with it. So here are the three things. Once again, this is what they talk about: Obama health care, taxes that they say that Trump owe, and he keeps explaining it, but they keep saying it. And what's the other one? Oh yeah, he owes taxes and coronavirus. This is out of hand. It's totally out of line. You know, and there's dummies out there. I hate to say it, but they are dummies because they don't even look at the facts. They're not doing any research. They're just listening, and they're listening to the rhetoric. This is the greatest election of all times, and we need to get Trump out of here. Honestly, ask yourself what legislation or what has Trump done that would be any different on any other day, even if the Democrats are president. What different has changed, and what different will change? Why? Because it's white people that's angry. White people are always angry. Like something is wrong with some of us, to the point where we get so emotional. If somebody says racist, or he's racist, that person's racist, they just get so emotional. They just say whatever. Like, if you don't understand, all white people say shit that's borderline racist. You know, white people, there are some white people that try to be sincere, and they try to be honest with what they're saying, and it just comes out fucking racist because that's just their backgrounds. But because it comes out racist doesn't mean you don't listen to what they say. A lot of us get so emotional that before a person can finish what they're saying, they've already shut it down. So once again, I mean, I don't know what the Democrats have for you now. Let's look on the Republican side. Either way you look at it, Biden's been in politics for 42 years. We've got nothing out of it but black men going to jail. Trump is not a politician. Trump is a businessman. So maybe there's some things he don't know how to say smoothly enough to fancy you. And that's what black people like. They like to be fancied. They like to be talked to nicely with no action. But on the other side, the Republicans said something about African Americans. The platinum deal. Not only that, they actually listened to Ice Cube when he wanted to pitch. He wanted to pitch his deal, his new black deal, and the Democrats told him that basically we need to wait till after the election. The Republicans said they would like to hear it, and because the Republicans said they would like to hear it, all these black people went crazy. Stop calling my man out. Stop talking crazy out their mouth. They don't even know what they're talking about. It's black people just talking and making no goddamn sense. Because they are emotionally tied to this and not looking at the facts and not looking at the tangibles. And they know how to gear you up every year. Look at Kamala. What has she done? Sending black women to jail for kids that don't go to school. Well, why is a black woman? Most of the time because they're the ones that have custody of the child. Okay? The black man is either in jail or he's out of his fucking mind. Not all black men. We're not talking about all black men, and we're not talking about all black women. But we do know that these instances exist. What is there to vote for? Are we just vote? You just gonna vote? Say you voted? You know, you have people talking about your ancestors died to vote. No, they died trying to vote. There wasn't a war for voting. Okay, like there wasn't a battlefield where people, they died to vote. Voting is still a choice. You're absolutely right. They didn't want us to vote at one period in time because they didn't want us to have a voice. But it doesn't mean if we voted, we kind of thought who we wanted to vote for, but we just didn't vote for any fucking body back in those days. Both of these guys are white supremacists. Both of these guys are white, and they have white interests. But I just don't see where black people just start to come up in there and then look at all the black pundits. They don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? This you know, Roland Martin and you know, all these other, you know, bourgeois people. They're not saying anything. Their job is just to get people at the polls, get as many black people at the polls as they can, so that if this administration does get into the White House, they can get a job. This is all about individual gain. They're not trying to help nobody do shit, man. Look at the policies. You know, we keep talking about coronavirus. We're not talking about nothing else. We keep talking about Obamacare. I'm gonna honestly tell you right now, I don't know nobody that uses Obamacare. I don't know anyone. There may be some that use it, but I don't have the numbers on that. But obviously, it seems like the people I know that live in the hood and around here where I live at are not using Obamacare. They don't even understand what the Obamacare is. But you know what? Everyone has a TV, and everyone can tell you what Viagra is. They can tell you all these other supplements out here that they're constantly, you know, advertising on television. But no one truly really understands what Obamacare is, the Affordable Health Care Act. They really don't understand. They really don't get it. You know why? Because it doesn't fucking matter, and it doesn't fucking work for black people. It doesn't. And I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna lose some subscribers. That number keeps going up and down. I see it all the time. But I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to try to say something that everybody's gonna like, man. You know, I'm just a guy that works, and I have a YouTube page, and I like to talk, and I like to give my opinion on things. And when I look at these two white people here, none of them have anything for you. I'm not telling you not to vote on a local. I'm not telling you not to vote, period. We're just having a discussion. But on a local level, there may be some people out there that'll make some changes and do some things for you. But it just bothers me how black people just, you know, man, they want to be a part of everything but themselves. The only answer to this is for us to fix ourselves, man. To conduct ourselves appropriately. Conduct ourselves properly. Take our monies and work together. Seek each other out to pay each other. But you know, when black people get money, they're oppressed. They want to give it to someone else. Like we always want to reward everyone else but ourselves. We're trying to get in other lanes that are not for us. And because of that, we can't stay solid together. You know. So what is Trump talking about? He said he want to do something for black people. Now, is he just saying this because Trump isn't saying anything? We don't know. Both of these guys are liars. For God's sake. But who are you going to vote for? Tomorrow's your big day. And I'm not voting for nobody. Because I'm going to tell you as we stand right here. If you vote, then you are responsible for the same actions that's been happening for 50-something years. And I'm just telling you, they're not taking Americans first. We are Americans. But there are 5,000 people at the border who's going to get a place to stay. They're going to get a hot meal tonight. And they're hating me for what I'm saying. They're fucking hating me for what I'm saying. Like, listen, I'm an American. I served in the military, served my country. But they're not going to like what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is we come first. And for some reason, the Democrats will tell you that's inhumane. When did that shit start? So I'll go ahead and vote for Kamala Harris and Biden, and watch the same shit happen that's been happening. In fact, it's going to get worse, because you'll start seeing other groups pushing, and that's another reason why Trump is at opposition, because he actually has a problem with the immigration issue that's currently going on now. He wants the travel ban. Don't you know about travel banning? You know, all those little construction jobs that you see other groups that are working instead of you in your city, on your major street, and you won't say nothing. But you'll get up here and you'll listen to these people talk about Russian bots and shit, and basically the black men are this or that. But they're letting people in the back door of you right now, putting you out of work. But you don't say nothing. You don't say nothing to the drug deal on your block. You don't say a goddamn thing. But you have something to say about someone that has an opinion on who to vote for. Oh, especially some of these ladies out here. Not all of you, because some of us are woke. But there's some of them out here that'll put you down on the ground because you don't like Biden. And then these are the same people that have a problem with Trump putting judges in office. And I'm trying to understand, so what Democratic judge is helping black people? You know, they made all this stank about him bringing the judge in, and his right now. He has a right. He's the president. He has a right to do this. They made this all stank up, made it even more emotional, to make it even more, to create a villain, to talk about judges. And none of these judges have done anything for black people. They have upheld nothing to assist you in the last 50 years. And you can forget about Clarence Thomas. So what is the complaint here? Like obviously, what is it that the Democrats are offering you? What is offering you different than what Trump is already doing? Like okay, so if Biden became president, what would change? I mean, would they still start? They'll just start hiring you at the jobs now. But white people aren't going to hate black people anymore. Cops just immediately going to stop shooting black men and women. In actuality, there were more black people being shot by cops with Obama. So help me understand. What exactly is it? Has not been explained by the Democratic Party. What are you voting for them for? It has not been explained by Republicans. What are we voting for them for as black people? Anytime you ask for anything, anytime you mention something, it's not happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen to my conversation. Please subscribe, and also if you like the video, please like as well. Once again, this is the Black News, brought to you by Black Views. Have a great day. This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News.